I am here today to talk about data breaches and, as a small business, why it is essential that you pay attention to security measures that need to be taken within your company. 70% of data breach attacks occur or are targeted on small businesses and medium-sized businesses, which is a lot, right? So a lot of small, medium-sized business owners, entrepreneurs think that they're too small a fish for anyone to even focus on them. And that's absolutely not true. From the research I've done, a small to medium-sized business is actually more vulnerable than a larger corporation because they have less people in the company specializing in that. They have less safeguards in place. There's less red tape and protocols and intentionality around protecting the data and making sure that everything is safe and secure. So, what we're going to talk about is I want to talk to you about some very straightforward, simple ways that you can protect yourself. Also, I want to talk about things that you absolutely may not, under any circumstances, do ever again. All right? So let's talk about it. So one thing that I don't know that many small businesses are aware is, depending on your local and state and even the federal regulations, if there's a data breach and some important information is leaked for your clients, whether that be credit card, whether that be personal information like social security numbers, whether that just be information about logins for their programs or their platforms, the onus is on you. If you've been breached, you actually, in many states, are required to pay for credit monitoring for them for a year or two, depending on the situation, and also to remediate all of the things that have gone haywire. And it's a lot. It's a lot of money, and it's also a lot of time. And as a small business, it's very important to use both of those things extremely, extremely wisely. So what I want to talk about is one of a major way that data breaches occur is weak passwords. I was just in the bank this past Friday meeting with my business banker, who is amazing. Shout out to Jennifer at PNC Bank near me, at my PNC Bank branch. But she was talking about how even recently there was actually an issue with Venmo, where Venmo was not encrypting and storing the login information for Venmo securely enough. And so bots got in. Remember, it's not just people. Like, people may select you or not select you to hack into your company, right? But bots are equal opportunity hackers. And so these bots, these people got in, or bots, something like that, and they actually gathered up all of that login information. And for those of you out there who use your one password or even a username for more than one platform, they created a bot, these hackers, and they actually generated that information through and hacked in and were hacking into people's bank accounts, because they were able to surmise what it was going to be based off their username or their password that they used on Venmo, right? And Venmo is like a reputable application. I'm not saying don't use Venmo. What I'm saying here is, like, you could literally just be doing your life and you could be vulnerable. So I tell you that story because what you absolutely must do is use a password organizer, a digital, online, safe and secure. There are only two types that I recommend, one that I'm very well acquainted with and one that I know is safe but I have not used before. One is called 1Password, the number 1 and then the word password. That is what I use. I actually use 1Password for Teams because I have a team, and it allows you to delegate and share access to different passwords with different protections, okay, within the team. That's a whole nother video. And if you're interested in knowing more about that, which you absolutely need to know about, please send me a message or chat below and say, I want to know more about passwords. And I will make some. I've actually been thinking about doing a workshop on password organization, which doesn't sound very sexy, but when it prevents a data breach and prevents you from possibly going out of business because of it, it's worth it. Because that's the other crazy fact I found, is that something like 50% of small businesses who are hacked within 6 months close their doors because of the exorbitant price and costs it takes to try and rectify all of that. Insane. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't want to hear anyone else who has, I love you, but I don't want to hear that you have an Excel spreadsheet in your computer called password. I want to know that every single one of your passwords is unique. A platform like 1Password or LastPass, all you have to remember is 1Password, although it better have never been used for anything else before, or I will come after you. No, I'm kidding, but like seriously, listen to what I'm saying. So what you do is you have 1Password, and then that is the key to this vault, okay? So 1Password and LastPass work like a vault. There's one key to unlock it, the 1Password that you know. And then from there, you get to save all of these different logins where you have your username, your password, your questions and answers that you need to remember, all those crazy things nobody can ever remember and waste a ton of time doing. So once you do that, you have the ability, as soon as you have 1Password or LastPass, to actually create almost unbreakable passwords, okay? So every time I create a new, every time I create a new login or I have to update my password, I use their password generator, which uses letters and numbers and uppercase and lowercase and symbols and all of this stuff. And you have the ability to kind of control the formula based off of like what the program you're trying to create a password for requires. And from there, you're safe. Like every password is not my dog Trixie 66, right? I don't know. I've never had a dog named Trixie. But like, you know, not every password is my dog Trixie 66. And it also allows you to have a variety of usernames so that you have the ability to have different usernames. So even that Venmo bot couldn't hack in knowing what your username is everywhere. Excuse me. It's so important. I cannot say how important this is. It's also absolutely important that when you have passwords and when you have a team, you may never, whether you team or not, may never email your passwords. You may never text your passwords. You may verbally, I think it's safe, but hey, there may be something out there that's not. You may verbally give your password over the phone, but under no circumstances may you do that for in any other written form anywhere. There are bots and people and hackers and computers that filter searching for that kind of information that you may not even know that they're in your email or that they have access to your Wi-Fi that you're on or something, and they can capture that, and that is just ripe for the using. And especially if you use that for all of your banking or for all of your logins or for your website, you are now, right? Like totally inferno of insanity, okay? So what you do is you get 1Password or LastPass, and you get the team version where you can pay a small amount of money to have different users. And that allows you to create, in 1Password it's called a vault where everything your graphic designer needs, all the logins is in one. All the logins your web designer needs is in one. All the logins that your bookkeeper needs are in one. All the logins that your VA needs are in one. All the logins you need that nobody else should have access to is in one. And you control who sees what. And if they leave your company, guess what? You revoke their access. You absolutely do change your passwords anyhow, because that is another way that huge data breaches occur is former employees. So every time you fire someone, any password they had access to needs to be changed. But this is so foundational to protecting your company. It is just insane. So I think I actually have a lot more things to say about data breaches and how to protect yourself. But I think I'm actually going to leave it there because I just went off on a huge tangent on passwords. And I'm going to loop back around in the next few days and come back and talk to you about 3 to 4 other strategies I have that you absolutely need to be employing in your business to protect yourself and to make sure that your company is of the highest integrity from a data standpoint. Also, never email credit card numbers. Just had that pop in my head. So that's what I have for you today. If this has been helpful and you're like, gosh, it is very obvious, I need some systems because I don't even have time to do this, or I don't know how to do this, or I don't even know how to make this consistent across my company, reach out to me. I want to give you a free gift from my website, 33 systems every small business must have to be successful. You download that checklist, you can take a look at that, and it allows you to assess where you are and where you want to be, okay? And I'm here for you. I would love for there to be some conversation in the comments below around aha moments, around struggles, around resistance to getting a password organizer. Like, share it. I'm here for you. I love you. my goal is that you can change the world in a bigger and better way. And the way to do that is to stay in business, to protect your data, and to love on your clients. So let's do this, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.